I'm Dr. David Jansen.
I'm Michael Sanders.
I am Noelle Thrasher.
And welcome to the Highlander Podyssey.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us on The Podyssey, a podcast by Gordon State students. I'm your podcast host, Michael Sanders. Today, we'll be listening to Tomiya and Elizabeth. In this podcast, we'll be playing with genre a little bit. We have Tomiya being interviewed by Elizabeth about her three main principles of media literacy, and interspersed between Tomiya's three principles, Elizabeth has prepared a game show for some students in our class, also themed around media literacy. They'll be quizzed on a variety of things to test their media literacy. Tomiya's interview produces some quite interesting takes on the applications of heightened media literacy in the modern day, and the game show definitely had me scratching my head a few times. I encourage you to play along and see how many questions you can get right. Okay, let's get into it.
Hi, welcome to the Podyssey. My name is Maya. I'm a junior here at Gordon State College, and my major is English, which will be completed in fall 2024.
Hey, my name is Elizabeth. I'm about to finish my junior year as an English major here at Gordon. I also plan to finish my bachelor's in the fall of next year. I'm a writing tutor in the Success Center, as well as the managing editor of our literary magazine. Welcome to our episode, Name That Medium!
This podcast is one of the main projects of our English 3930 class, which is writing for new media. So naturally, the first question we had to address as a class was, what is new media? So when I first came into the class, I thought the definition would just be about journalism and that stuff in that type of sort. So my definition was basically just focusing on things such as newspapers and taking a deeper dive into like podcasts. I didn't think we'd be doing essays, but it turned out to be a pretty good class, and I'm learning so much more about different techniques and stuff.
Next, we had to ask, what is media literacy? Educator Mary Kate Lonergan defines media literacy as a broadened definition of literacy that includes media beyond text and promotes curiosity about the media we consume and create. Our entire class and its mission has sprung from this one definition. All of us had different views on new media and therefore had different thoughts on media literacy. But the general tone of media literacy comes from our identities as English majors or from adjacent majors. Most of the skills we develop studying English can be applied to any medium, so we can be literate about all the content we encounter. And in this age, we encounter a lot of content.
So our first assignment was to create 3 principles of media literacy. My 3 principles were, how do college students such as ourselves use the new media literacy in the classroom help them? How do they or we benefit from it? How does new media literacy hold value for undergrad students?
So Maya, let's talk about your first principle of media literacy. How has using new media literacy helped you during your time as a student?
So using new media literacy as a student here, how has it helped me? I've learned different techniques such as, writing papers my paper writing has changed. I've used new techniques. I'm able to use my resources more, resources that I didn't use when I first started at Valdosta State. But since I've came here to Gordon and I've changed my major to English and taken this class, I've learned different techniques from not only Professor Jensen, but my other peers.
How has developing those skills shaped your student experience and ultimately your future?
So using new media literacy has a really big hold on my future simply because I want to be an English teacher and I plan on teaching British Lit as soon as I graduate. As a British literature teacher, your students write multiple papers. Even if I don't teach British Lit, I have to teach my kids the techniques that I learned to further their education, especially if they plan on going to college. You can't just give them a little bit. You have to give them more, at least more than what my teachers gave me. I came into college a little confused about papers, but now that I'm more so used to writing papers, it's became better.
As a fellow writer, something I think people don't talk about enough is that writing is how you can share your passions with those around you. Can you talk about how using new media literacy has helped you change the world?
Using new media literacy has helped me change the world. For example, I work in the school system now. I tutor kids and I'm a substitute, so being able to help kids, especially with English and reading, their reading levels are low this year. I guess because of COVID and the pandemic happening and the world being shut down. They weren't able to get the resources that was needed for them. So you have a person like me who's an English major and takes English classes and upper level English electives. I'm able to show them citations, annotations, or even just pulling and citing evidence, and even like their word cited page is helping them shape their English papers in a different way.
So, let's put media literacy into practice. We're going to play a sort of game with media and media literacy, hence the title of our episode. It's time to play Name That Medium! Our contestants today are two of our classmates, Caitlin Chamberlain and Miana Lotshaw. Here's how the game works. I'm going to give you a quote with two possible sources. One option is new media and the other is old media. When you think you know the answer, ring the bell and give us your choice. There will be 3 rounds. Each round will be about media of a specific category. We'll keep score, and at the end of round 3, we'll see who is more literate. Alright, so using Maya's first principle of media literacy, our first category is educational media. Alright. Here's your first quote. In 1792, Mary Wollstonecraft focused her defense of the underprivileged on her own sex and wrote, in 6 weeks of intense effort, a vindication of the rights of women. So, did that quote come from A, the Norton Anthology of English Literature, General Editor Stephen Greenblatt, or B, Wikipedia?
I want to ask if you can read it again.
Yes, yeah. All right, in 1792, Mary Wollstonecraft focused her defense of the underprivileged on her own sex and wrote, in 6 weeks of intense effort, a vindication of the rights of women. Is that the Norton Anthology or Wikipedia? All right, Caitlin, what's your answer?
I'm gonna say it sounds like the Norton Anthology.
It is the Norton Anthology. Woohoo! In the Norton Anthologies, Stephen Greenblatt includes short biographies of the authors. This quote is from the introductory biography of Mary Wollstonecraft. All right, on to question 2. Nashville's own J. Frankie Pierce helped register thousands to vote in Tennessee and made a school for black girls in the 1920s. Is that from Black American History, a textbook by D.C. Cannon, or Black Women in History, a song by Fuchs featuring Rissy Palmer and Snook Nook? Miana, what's your answer?
I'm gonna guess History of Black Women.
The song or the textbook?
The song.
It is the song. Wow. You guys are doing good. On his YouTube channel, Fuchs describes himself as a Grammy-nominated music and social justice artist who combines hip-hop and visual storytelling to educate, entertain, and empower the next generation with songs about Black history, empathy, and self-love. All right, question 3. Zeus, son of Kronos and Rhea, decided to overthrow his father. He and his siblings defeated the Titans and became the first Olympians. Is that from Greek mythology, The Gods, Goddesses, and Heroes Handbook, a book written by Liv Albert, or The Greeks and Romans Pantheons Part 3, the Crash Course Mythology on YouTube? Caitlin, let's hear it.
Is it the YouTube video?
It is YouTube! You guys are 3 for 3. Crash Course has produced over 54 courses on various educational subjects. This episode is the 9th of the mythology course, produced by John and Hank Green and hosted by Mike Rugnetta.
I would know Hank Green anywhere.
Yep. That Hank Green, the same one. All right, I'm impressed. You guys are 3 for 3. Awesome. All right, number 4. Many shark species sport several rows of razor-sharp teeth. The back rows move forward as the front teeth are lost to age and use. Is that from Biology, Life on Earth, which is a textbook written by Teresa Ottersick, Gerald Ottersick, and Bruce E. Briers, or Sharks, the website article by National Geographic?
I'm gonna guess the National Geographic website.
You guys are wrong. Well, that was your first wrong one, so. This quote is from the biology textbook. Chapter 23 is about animal diversity, wherein it discusses different classifications of vertebrates. All right, last one for this category. Developing a lean, well-toned body is the main reason many people exercise. Is that from A Wellness Way of Life, a textbook by Gwen Robbins, Debbie Powers, and Sharon Burgess, or Muscles in Motion, an educational Instagram account?
I'm gonna say the Instagram account.
No! It's the textbook. This is from Chapter 6 about developing muscular fitness in a wellness way of life. The chapter goes on to discuss the many health benefits of muscular fitness in addition to the visible results. So, fun fact, all textbooks are textbooks that Gordon State College uses. All right, that's the end of round 1. Caitlin has 2 points and Miana has 1. So Maya, let's talk about your second principle of media literacy. How do we benefit from using new media literacy in the classroom?
So using new media literacy in the classroom, we benefit from it in multiple ways. I want to talk about how we more so benefit from it while using papers. When I came into this class, I was very confused. I didn't know how I would do this, but new media literacy is more so just, in my opinion, journalism, papers, and stuff like that. If you watch English videos and stuff like that on new media literacy, it teaches us new techniques and how we can better ourselves as students in our papers. It kind of just helped me better my paper. You do need new media literacy in a lot, not just English though.
Would you say that those skills would be beneficial for our future careers?
Our future careers has a lot to do with new media literacy. And I said this before, I feel like the English major has paved the way for a lot of different careers. Without English, you wouldn't know certain things, or without new media literacy, you wouldn't have access to different techniques for surgeries if you're in a nursing major, or criminal justice, you wouldn't have techniques or stuff for solving cases or something like that in that era. So I just think new media literacy in English is probably one of the top 3, but not 3 or 2. English is definitely one of the best majors. I feel like we're confused in a way. When we say we're English majors, the first thing they say we're going to be as a teacher, but I don't think they understand how many careers is actually into this. We're just judged before we're actually looked into.
How has your experience with new media literacy differed from students who don't have those skills?
My experience with new media literacy differs from students who don't have the skills that I have now because, like I said before, when you come into college, it's straight papers. I don't care if you're taking science or English, math, history. At least in 3 of those subjects I just named, you have to do essays. My teachers here at Gordon has taught me how to go around my paper and how to fix the main issue that I've been having. So with this class, Jansen, we had to buy this book, and in the book we have different techniques on how to do this or how to do this different or how to better this or that. And this or that would be our papers or even just our work itself.
Okay, it's time for round 2 of Name That Medium. The current score is Caitlin with 2 and Miana with 1. The second category is entertainment media. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Your first quote: "Water, water everywhere, so let's all have a drink." Is that from The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, a poem written by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, or The Simpsons, a TV show written by Dan McGrath, directed by Jeffrey Lynch? All right, let's hear it, Caitlin.
Try to guess. Is it The Rime of the Ancient Mariner?
No, it's The Simpsons. This is a quote from the episode of The Simpsons called Boy Scouts in the Hood.
Okay.
Homer misquotes The Rime of the Ancient Mariner while he is stranded on a raft in the middle of the ocean. The real quote from the rhyme is "Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink." Afterwards, Homer swallows a gulp of salty seawater and starts to hallucinate.
Clearly, I've never seen The Simpsons. So.
I don't know how that has to relate to the title of the episode, but
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. All right, so next question. These are getting a little harder. Will you fight or will you perish like a dog? Is that from Beowulf, an Old English epic by an unknown author, or a Tumblr post?
I'm gonna go with a Tumblr post.
It is a Tumblr post.
I was like, wait, that sounds familiar. And I don't think I've ever read Veil. So.
It seems like something I would repost as a middle schooler, so I'm gonna go with Tumblr.
Yep. This line is from a meme of Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. It gained popularity by Tumblr user @RulesOfThirds, who reposted the meme in 2015. Alright, this next one is kind of tricky, so take some time to think about it. The horror. Is that from Heart of Darkness, a novella written by Joseph Conrad, or Apocalypse Now, a movie directed by Francis Ford Coppola?
And it's just the horror.
The horror.
Now I wish I finished my weekly reading.
Take your best guess.
Okay, I'll ring the bell. Okay. Is it the Heart of Darkness?
It's kind of a trick question.
Oh, it was both?
It's both. It is both. The plot is very similar in both works, with the novella taking place in the Congo and the movie taking place in Vietnam. These are the final words of Kurtz, the ruthless and violent warlord.
I remember that now, yeah.
Yes, Apocalypse Now is basically a retelling of Heart of Darkness.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give you that point because you were brave enough to answer, and that was kind of a trick question, so good for you.
Appreciate it.
Alright, this is a wholesome one. Here we go. There's some good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. Is that from The Two Towers, the second volume of The Lord of the Rings, written by J.R.R. Tolkien? Or The Legend of Korra, a TV show created by Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, main actress Janae Varney?
I'm going to guess that it was The Lord of the Rings.
It is, The Two Towers. These words are Sam's encouragement to Frodo in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This is the peak of their journey in the Two Towers, right when Frodo is ready to give up. So there's some wholesome encouragement for you guys today. Alright, this last one might be my favorite question in this whole thing, so. I will create in my own image. If God can, then why can't I? Is that from Frankenstein the novel, written by Mary Shelley, or Frankenstein the song by Iced Earth?
I'm gonna guess the novel.
No, it's a song.
I was really good in the beginning.
Iced Earth's album, Horror Show, retells many classic monster stories. Frankenstein is a combination of the classic novel and movie adaptation that retells Mary Shelley's iconic science fiction novel. Alright, so that's the end of round 2, and we are tied. Both of you have 3 points. So, now let's talk about your third and final principle of media literacy. How is new media literacy valuable to undergraduate students?
I honestly think even though new media is something new to many of us, it still holds weight or is valuable to undergrad students because it provides essential skills for our academic and professional lives. We're still learning many different things such as research, communication skills, and automated collaborations. I'm collaborating with people that I never thought I would have collaborated with before. And I've learned many things from these people, such as Liz. I've learned a lot from her.
I think sometimes people assume communication skills are just for English majors. Can you talk about how everybody benefits from new media literacy, not just English majors?
Okay, so I talked about this in the last couple of questions, but I just highly think, like I said before, everyone benefits from new media literacy. Without new media literacy, how would we be able to have collaborations, or how would we be able to even just have the critical thinking skills, or how would we be able to provide ourselves or our peers or our managers or even our associates, how would we be able to provide them with research and communication skills if it wasn't for new media literacy? So I feel like English is just that major that just allows you to express yourself through writing, and it just helps us better our papers in and out of school. You know, like I said, research, communication skills, and automated collaborations. Throughout life, we're going to do all of that, whether you're in college or out of college. So I just think that's how everyone benefits from new media literacy, and just not us English majors.
What are some of the opportunities you have encountered by your literacy skills?
Opportunities I have encountered with my literacy skills were I'm able to sub students. I've been offered job opportunities already to teach English when I graduate in my hometown. I've been offered to teach British Lit with my own British Lit teacher soon. Recently, last week, I just got offered to do an application at a middle school so I can get in the school system and start helping kids.
All right, this is going to be exciting. This is the final round of Name That Medium. Right now, our contestants are tied with 3 points, and the last category is current content. Mike Pence drops out of 2024 presidential race.
Not ready.
Is that from National Review, political magazine based in New York, or a post on X by Breaking News? I love the boldness. Go, Caitlin.
The way that sounds, it sounds like it would be a post on X.
It is! This is a short and sweet headline posted on X, previously known as Twitter, by Breaking News. All right, this one's kind of fun. Kind of random, anyway. These are my super moist, deliciously spiced, and extra soft pumpkin muffins. Okay. Is that from The Great Big Pumpkin Cookbook, a cookbook written by Maggie Michaelsvik, or Simply Pumpkin Muffins, an electronic recipe on a website?
I'm gonna guess the cookbook.
No, it's the website. This is from Sally McKinney's recipe website. She describes herself as a professional food photographer, cookbook author, and baker. Her kitchen-tested recipes and thorough step-by-step tutorials give readers the knowledge and confidence to bake from scratch. All right, we're almost toward the end here. Kobe came into the NBA with a desire and talent to become one of the greatest players of all time. Is that from The Mamba Mentality, How I Play, a book written by Kobe Bryant, or Kobe Bryant's Legacy, a website article by ESPN?
I think it's Kobe Bryant's Legacy.
The website article?
Yes.
No, it's the book.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, is this like an autobiography or?
It is. This quote is from the introduction of Kobe's book.
Okay, I was like, you wrote that about himself.
Right,
Third
right.
person? Okay.
No, it's from the introduction, which was written by someone else. It was written in 2018 when he set out to share his wealth of knowledge about basketball after his retirement.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
All right, 2 more questions, and Caitlin still has one more point than Miana, so this will be interesting. I had a boss once tell me it was all in my head when I told her I was struggling with my mental health. Is that from Work Won't Love You Back, a novel by Sarah Jaffe, or an Instagram post by Sarah Murray?
I'm going to guess it's from the book.
No, it's Instagram.
This is harder than I thought it was.
It is hard, and we'll talk about why. But Sarah Marie is a content creator on Instagram. Her content promotes healthy work environments and good mental health in the workplace. Last question. If you guys end in a tie, I don't know what we're going to do, but...
We'll fist fight it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fight it out in the hall. What are we doing to promote and advance the kind of large-scale development of solar and other renewables needed to transition away from fossil fuels? Is that from the Environmental Magazine, an Environmental Magazine article, or A Sustainable Mind, which is from an environmental podcast?
Can you read it again?
Yes. What are we doing to promote and advance the kind of large-scale development of solar and other renewables needed to transition away from fossil fuels?
And then it was an article or a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna say the article, just because that sounds like something really hard to say on a podcast.
It is, absolutely. This is the opening quote from the magazine article, Large Scale Solar, Are We Doing Enough? This article was written by Roddy Shear and Doug Moss, published just a month ago. And that's game! Caitlin wins with 5 points. A huge thank you again to you both, Caitlin and Miana, for being our contestants today. So the reason I set up these questions the way that I did, based on my original project that I did, is that old media and new media are more similar than they are different. So I hope today that the game kind of showed they can overlap.
Yeah, definitely. Because sometimes I'd be like, oh, I need to figure out the way this is worded, and then I would be wrong. I'd be like, oh, this definitely sounds old. It's not.
Right, absolutely.
What an interesting game. Both of our contestants were pretty great.
Yes, both of them did a great job of exhibiting media literacy. We hope that our listeners played along too, and that you learned more about media and media literacy, and how new media and old media are more similar than they are different. We also hope that you saw how the skills English majors learn can help you analyze any content you encounter.
In conclusion, after I've talked about the 3 principles, I think it's very important to see how new media literacy is useful to our everyday lives and our college lives. Even when you think new media literacy isn't a good thing, just think about the how and the different benefits we're gaining from using new media literacy.
Thank you so much for listening once again. This podcast was written by and features Tomiya Harps and Elizabeth Hill. Audio engineering and recording by Elizabeth Hill. Audio editing by me, Michael Sanders. Intro and outro music written by me, Michael Sanders, with help from Dr. David Jansen, also featured on guitar. Executive producer, Noel Thrasher. The interim songs under the voiceover are titled Good Times by Sensho and Funk Casino by Top Flow. And as always, Highlanders forward. Keep reading, gang.